morning, everyone. Joe here, Sports Grid. Let's have a cup of Joe. We're going to look at the early slate here in the NFL, and there is a lot to unpack in this early slate. So many games out there. Great games? Maybe not, but some ugly dogs we are going to jump on, plus the points, maybe an upset or two in this early slate. Now, I'm going to start off looking at the Cleveland Browns versus the Cincinnati Bengals. In this one, I just want to look at the Bengals. I want to look at their team total. That's coming in at 28.5. I'm going to take that to the over. We know Joe Burrow, as long as he can get that ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, this team can put the points up on the board. The problem is I don't trust their defense to limit the Cleveland Browns even in this one. So just give me the Bengals team total over 28.5. Then we move on to more interesting, important game here. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. And yes, we already did see this matchup. And in that matchup, it was pretty tight until the Eagles found a way to get Saquon Barkley just dominating on the ground. He came out in that game. They were able to get the win, and Barkley just went off. If you think Barkley can get 2+ touchdowns in this game, because you can't just take him for one, it's coming in at plus 330. I don't mind that look. We know that he's going to feast on the ground. The Washington Commanders really will need to find a way to contain him. Now, I think while they try to limit him in this game, you can't deny Barkley. I love his longest rush. His longest rush coming in at 19.5 yards. I will take that to the over. And I look here at Hurts, and we know mobile quarterback, he's able to get those quarterback sneaks in, the tush push to get those touchdowns. The books finally caught up. We were talking about it last week. I never should have said it out loud. They were still giving us plus money for Hurts to get in the end zone himself. Today, to get in the end zone, it's minus 160. You guys, I'm sorry, I jinxed it. You got to take him for 2+ touchdowns. That's coming in at plus 410. With the ability in the red zone for them to do that tush push, I am going to take a shot on Jalen Hurts to get in twice at plus 410. So then do I really think Saquon Barkley will be utilized for 2+ touchdowns? I'd rather go with Hurts, but I could see it playing out the other way. So you guys do what you want with that. With the Washington Commanders here, Jayden Daniels, ever since he hurt those ribs, hasn't looked exactly like himself. I do think we're going to see those explosive plays out of him. I think they're going to play that run game as well. So what I'm going to do, Brian Robinson Jr. nice and strong out there for the touchdown, coming in at plus 125. We know we can trust in him. No Austin Eckler. Eckler is out with a concussion. I do think you look here for the longest run here for Jayden Daniels. I think we see him move it on the ground. That's coming in at 14.5 for his longest. And then I'll look at his longest pass as well. That number coming in at 34.5. So Jayden Daniels' longest run over 14.5 yards, and then his longest pass over 34.5 yards. I'm going to do the same thing with Hurts here. His longest pass over 33.5 yards, and his longest rush coming in at 11.5. So I love both of those. I do think this game is more competitive. I'm going to grab the Washington Commanders plus the 4.5. Now, when we look at the LA Rams taking on the New York Jets. This is ugly. You got to hold your nose. Just grab the Jets here. They've been playing better as of late. Their defense has really been their issue. And we look at the LA Rams, and while I like Matt Stafford, I like this team. You look at Matt Stafford in cold weather games, you look at those numbers, and they're actually not good, you guys. It's kind of like Jared Goff. Not as bad. 4-7 straight up in games less than 35 degrees Fahrenheit, and then 1-3 straight up in games that are under 30 Fahrenheit. So we've seen those struggles. We know this defense of the Jets isn't performing like they should. So if you just want to look here at the Rams, you want to look at some players to get those long receptions, get those long rushes, then I don't blame you. But I do think the Jets could be live to get the win here at home, get an upset at home. Aaron Rodgers looking better. They will need to come out with a strong game. Now, I do think the Rams run the ball like crazy in this one, especially if we do see that little bit of a shaky game out of Matt Stafford. Kyren Williams, we know we can rely on to get the ball moving on the ground. I don't think the Rams will have an answer to stop him. I think you can ult his numbers. Now, ulting him to 100+ rushing yards coming in at plus 184. So I do like Kyren Williams to come out nice and strong in this matchup versus the Jets. Now, if you look at the Jets here, I think Rodgers with his arm, he's got something to prove. I think we'll see a deep pass either to Garrett Wilson, to Davante Adams. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers for his longest pass completion of 35.5. To the over, that's coming in at minus 114. Now, Bryce Hall is back in this lineup from that knee injury, so we'll see how much he's utilized out there. Davante Adams, we know that connection is finally coming back between those two. I just don't know if I trust it. This team has had so many clock management issues. That has been their biggest downfall as of late. It's just been ugly out there. So grabbing them. Allen Lazard, though. Let's look at Allen Lazard for the anytime touchdown. His anytime touchdown, so much value. It's coming in at plus 500. Let's move on to the Panthers versus Arizona Cardinals. This comes down to Kyler Murray for me. can't trust Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray, he's either on or he's not. Maybe he played video games last night. We don't know. Sorry, Kyler Murray fans. But I'm going to grab the Panthers. That will never get old. Panthers plus 4.5 for me. Again, hold your nose, bet the number. Same with the Giants versus the Falcons. Give me the Giants plus the 9.5. Michael Penix Jr. coming into this lineup for the Atlanta Falcons is bigger than people really think. Yes, it's great for him. It's great for the Falcons. They needed to change something up. Cousins just wasn't getting it done. He's a left-handed quarterback, so you're throwing a left-handed quarterback into that system. It's going to take time for this team to adjust to him, and I think there's going to be some growing pains. So Giants plus the 9.5. I don't trust either of these teams, either of these quarterbacks between Michael Penix Jr. and Drew Lock not to throw that interception. So I'm playing the pick six. You guys know I love the defensive touchdowns. The Giants to get the pick six coming in at plus 1,000. The Falcons at only plus 600. Yes, Drew Lock has been throwing those interceptions left, right, and center. Now, the way for success here for the Falcons, they should play it simple. They really should. They shouldn't force Michael Penix Jr. into the situation where he is passing this ball, but you know they will. So that defensive touchdown still for the Giants, I think, is a good play. But the Giants are just atrocious against the run. So you would expect here that we see a lot of a heavy run game here out of the Falcons. And then who do you look at? Bijan Robinson here to come out nice and strong. I'm just trying to look at Bijan Robinson's OAT numbers because I did play around with his OAT numbers today. So 90 plus rushing yards for Bijan Robinson is coming in at plus 104. So that's right around where you're breaking even. 125 plus rushing yards OATed. Up to that is coming in at plus 360. And like I said, the Giants can't stop the run. So that should be the game here with Michael Penix coming in. As long as he can hand the ball nicely off to Bijan Robinson, I do think that works. Kyle Pitts, still the tight end. I think you can look at him for the anytime touchdown. That's coming in at plus 320. Again, Bijan Robinson, you can't take unless you want to take him for 2+ touchdowns. There's just no value there. And then Malik Neighbors, Malik Neighbors has been strong. Drew Lock will be forced into those situations where he has to pass to them because I think they will be trailing in this game. So if you want to look at Malik Neighbors for the touchdown, Malik Neighbors for his receptions I don't know where I'd go. I'm taking the Giants plus 9.5. Not a lot of faith in Drew Lock. So the interceptions are coming. That is the long story short in that one. And then last but not least, we have the Detroit Lions taking on the Chicago Bears. Now the Lions are laying 6.5. We all know Jared Goff in cold weather. I'm not buying into it for this game. The Lions, I think, get the big win. I would lay up to double digits with this team. Yes, Jared Goff's not good outside in cold weather, but it doesn't matter. This is going to be a game plan. I know no David Montgomery, but just get the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs and let it be a day. They're just going to run out the clock. They're going to get up in this game, and then they're going to sit on their lead. I really do feel. Now, Caleb Williams has had that connection with Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen for the anytime touchdown coming in at plus 200, and I do like that. I think you can still make money on the Bears, but be heavy here on the Detroit Lions. So Jahmyr Gibbs, I think 100 plus rushing yards is coming in at plus 120. Nice way to look. I would also take him for 125 plus coming in at plus 290. I think I've gone over every single game in this early slate. Everyone I'm liking. I'm just looking at my notes here. I've got so many plays, you guys know that. And as I put in another play, I write it down on my notepad. And this notepad, you guys, if you would see this notepad and everything I've done, this is just the last 3 months.